Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening. First, a warning. We're about to witness confronting video which may distress some viewers. It's from a leading greyhound trainer's property. It has sparked outrage and calls for an industry-wide crackdown. Activists have slammed conditions on the West Tamar property, saying not enough is being done to protect animal welfare.
The confronting reality of life at what should be a top kennel. Dogs languish out in the cold while animal carcasses can be seen left in the open air.
Those dogs are housed in cages that are below the minimum standard.
Conditions allegedly experienced on leading greyhound trainer Anthony Bullock's West Tamar property.
What is happening on this property is an ongoing issue.
The footage shot last month exposing the harsh environment off the track.
It was gruesome evidence of a disdainful, casual disregard for beautiful, gentle greyhounds. Animal
activists venting their continued frustration.
I'd like to say I was shocked, but I wasn't.
Expressing fury at a sector they want to call time on.
The industry is a shambles. It's an absolute shambles.
We're sick to death of it. Where is accountability? Where is transparency?
An Office of Racing Integrity spokesperson says it is aware of the video and is actively investigating the matter in conjunction with the RSPCA. Through a representative, Mr Bullock today declined to comment on the allegations.
We will wait for the outcome of that investigation before considering further actions.
Industry leaders on the front foot keen to deal with the accusations.
Regardless of this particular matter, if there are instances of mistreatment that are confirmed within our industry, there is simply no room for that.
A former racing minister also weighing in.
The majority of people in the racing sector are great people. They do the right thing, and a small minority of people may do the wrong thing. That's difficult, and we need to address those issues.
With calls for an industry-wide crackdown.
Is welfare standards in this state lifted considerably to what the public expect animals to be kept in?
Victoria Easto, 7 Tasmania News.
A potential tragedy has been averted by quick-thinking emergency service crews. A woman and her child were rescued after their car ended up in the Tamar River this morning. The mum and toddler weren't injured but were taken to hospital as a precaution. Police are continuing their inquiries but believe inattention was a contributing factor. A 27-year-old man has pleaded guilty to an alleged arson attack which displaced 30 already vulnerable Tasmanians. Barry John Eldridge fronted the Magistrates Court today, charged over a fire at Newtown's Flint House last year. The historic site providing emergency accommodation for up to 50 people. He's been remanded in custody and is expected to reappear late next month for sentencing. The Nursing and Midwifery Federation says it's a step closer to reaching an enterprise agreement with the state government. Representatives will head back to the negotiating table with additional considerations after receiving mixed reviews from members across the state.
The main theme is that the offer doesn't extend far enough into matters regarding retention of the existing workforce.
The union also wants top-up entitlements, claiming staff sick leave has been eroded due to the pandemic. The government says it is prepared to listen to additional considerations to ensure a fair outcome. Vietnam veterans have laid wreaths, recited prayers and shed tears for lost comrades at vigils across Tasmania. The emotional ceremony is coming 50 years after Australia pulled its troops out of the long-running war, many paying the ultimate sacrifice.
Reuniting with an old friend who never made it home from the Vietnam War.
I've let Gary know a little while ago when I was standing at his gravesite that he will never be forgotten and he'll always hold a special place in my memory, in my heart.
Terry Rowe only knew Gary Cashin a year, but the young diggers developed a bond to last a lifetime.
We did our infantry corps training together at Ingleburn, went to Canunga to do our jungle training together. We both went to Vietnam in the same plane.
Gary was one of 17 Tasmanian soldiers who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Vigils held across the state today in their honour.
We will remember them. at each graveside, we made it sincere, genuine and of remembrance.
It comes 50 years after Australia withdrew its troops from the Vietnam War. The memories just as fresh.
Our bodies are getting old and crippled through various illnesses and injuries sustained over the years, but our minds are still pretty sharp, and it does feel only like yesterday that we were over there.
The state government hosting a special lunch in recognition of their service, a level of gratitude starkly different to what the veterans received decades ago.
When they came back, instead of being thought of as heroes, they weren't treated well at all.
More services will be held on August 18 to mark the official Day of Remembrance. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
A new underwater robot is helping repair broken fishing nets, diving to depths deeper and quicker than humans ever could. It's been dubbed a game changer in modern aqua technology and was tested and developed here in Tasmania first.
It's like knitting underwater, and it's set to revolutionise aquaculture across the globe.
We need machines that can work every day, every night, 365 days a year.
The latest development in remotely operated underwater vehicles is helping repair broken fishing nets on marine farms. It's been tried and tested at Huon Aquaculture, securing breaks at depths of up to 300 metres, regardless of murky water or strong sea currents.
It will fly up to the net, attach the material to one side of the hole, and then it will feed the material out and go to the other side of the hole, and then it will winch that hole back into shape.
Its goal to improve efficiency and fix smaller breaks before they become big ones, assisting humans rather than taking over.
So this won't fully replace divers, but if we can replace 60% of their workload, we can actually use divers for other jobs on the farm. And at the moment, the actual market for divers is really tight.
The current price tag for this kind of technology is in the hundreds of thousands, due to around 9 years of advanced manufacturing and much trial and error. And the future looks bright. The makers hoping to develop the robot further and see it assist marine farms across the world.
Been sort of hidden away in our offices, doing a lot of R&D. But yeah, we're hoping to go global. We've got people interested around the world.
Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
A multi-level driving range at Launceston's Country Club has been revealed, the first of its kind in the state. Golf games and tracking technology are part of the $5 million draw card, which is set to tee off next year.
Swing-a-ding-ding. This is the 2-level golfer's paradise coming to life at Launceston's Country Club.
It's going to be something for everybody.
Bunkers and targets dot the 200-metre driving range. The serious golfers tee off from the level below. Up top is for those having a social swing, complete with a bar and mini-games made possible through ball tracking technology.
You can come in and hit a bucket of balls and have a beer and really enjoy the Country Club surrounds.
The $5 million project is attached to a modern take on mini-golf, reflecting genuine golfing surrounds. It's all happening alongside a makeover of the real thing. The first part of the 18-hole course's redevelopment should be ready for play by year's end.
We've got 3 holes sown and grass is starting to grow.
In a fortnight, this suspension bridge will be recommissioned to make way for an island tee for golfers to hit from, something unique to the Country Club.
Nowhere else in Australia's got an island tee. In fact, we're struggling to find anywhere in the world that's got an island tee.
For a sport with a mantra of quiet please, there sure is a lot of noise at the Country Club. Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
A popular Launceston feature has driven off into the sunset. The iconic combi on top of Red Herring Surf was removed in the early hours of this morning, the store confirming it would not be replaced due to ongoing renovations and rust. However, all won't be lost. The company says the bus has been given to one of its employees who plans to restore it. Red Herring is due to reopen next month. Organisers of Tasmania's annual celebration of science and technology say understanding its impact on our lives has never been more critical. Experts and amateur scientists came together this morning to launch this year's Beaker Street Festival. The event featuring art displays, experiments and a chance to mingle with experts in the field.
You see that there's actually science in everything, and we're really showing the fun and amazing and inspiring side of science.
More than 150 scientists will take part in the 9-day festival, which begins tomorrow. Festival goers get excited. Party in the Paddock will be extended by one more day next year, with an expanded lineup also set to be announced. Organisers say an estimated 12,000 people rolled through the gates last year. That was the first edition after a 2-year hiatus due to COVID. Party in the Paddock will kick off on February 8th at Quercus Park and wraps up on the 11th.
North Hobart will welcome back Tyler McGuinness this week after his horror concussion in last month's state game. The Demons are riding high after a stunning win over Lauderdale last weekend. Facing Glenorchy this round, they're not taking the winless Magpies for granted.
I think it'll be a high pressure game and it'll boil down to who can control the footy and who can get the score on the board.
The Pies, meanwhile, are confident a victory is close after pushing Kingborough all the way last weekend.
Improving each week. If we keep bringing that pressure and that contest, we'll put ourselves in good stead and be in games a lot longer.
First bounce at KG5 on Saturday is at 1 p.m. The latest signing for the Hurricanes WBBL side says she has unfinished business this season. Rachel Treneman has inked a new 2-year deal with the team, with the batter hoping to avoid injuries and cement her place in the Canes' first 11.
Happy days for one of Australian cricket's rising stars. Rachel Treneman having no doubts is where she wanted to play for the next 2 WBBL seasons.
I didn't entertain any other offers. The offer came through from Hurricanes and it was a pretty easy decision, no toing and froing.
Returning from a serious knee injury, the batter played 12 of 15 matches last season, but she missed Tasmania's historic WNCL win after injuring her meniscus against Queensland. Her goal for this year, a simple one.
Just score runs. I'd love to get a full season in. I've eyeing off a century in WNCL for a little while now. That hasn't come to fruition, but it'd be really nice to kind of tick off.
In a team stacked with hitting talent, she's expecting to float around the batting order.
You can't really request to open when you've got Lizelle Lee and Junior in the squad, but more than happy to do that. I haven't really stamped my position or authority on the game yet.
She's the 8th player to commit to the Cane train ahead of the upcoming international player draft. The team looking to build on last year, where they made the finals for the first time in 5 seasons.
Absolutely, we can go further, and we haven't had success with the title at the Hurricanes before, so that's something that we're always striving to do and create a bit of history.
The WBBL season begins in October. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Hurricanes players are still making their mark in the 100 over in England. For the London Spirit, Nathan Ellis tempted Oval Invincibles number 3, Jordan Cox.
The bit of Glover off the bat. Yes, the umpire confirms it.
Ellis finished with 2 for 19. His teammate Matthew Wade scored 37 for the Spirit, but their total was chased down with 3 wickets in hand. And 10 Tasmanian horses are just days away from vying for a spot in the world's richest harness race. The field for Saturday's The Bowtide at Elwick Racecourse has been finalised. The winner will represent Tasmania in the $2.1 million Tabureka in Sydney next month.
It's a great incentive and even a reward for those people who have bred and invested money in the past few years in racing.
Predictions of entrant Mickey O say excitement is building across the sport.
Originally there was a bit of a pushback, but these opportunities don't come along, and without Tas Racing support it wouldn't happen.
Tas Racing has secured a slot in the race for the next 3 years.
Good evening. Hobart reached 20 today, 7 degrees above the August long-term average. A lot cooler though in the north, with temperatures in the mid-teens. Bushy Park and Grove hit 19, Strawn, Smithton along with the King and Flinders Islands all 17, St Helens and Friendly Beaches 16 today. Bands of high cloud pushed over from the west, finally extending right across the state. A band of cloud is there to our west, extending over the mainland. A big pool of cold air is in behind it. That complex low and cold front cross tomorrow with rain for the north and west mostly. High pressure moves over WA. North to northwest winds as strong as 45 knots over the west and south, swells to 5 metres, 40 knot winds over the southwest lakes. We have a severe weather warning for damaging winds for the east coast and also parts of the Midlands, Upper Derwent Valley, the west, the southeast and northeast. Gale warnings and strong wind warnings also apply for all of Tasmania. Check the Bureau's website for your area. A flood watch for catchments in the northwest, north and northeast. Initial minor flood warning for the North Esk. Friday, Hobart, showery and 17, 18 for Huonville, a shower or 2 for Campania, 17 the maximum. 16 for Launceston, some heavy falls expected. 15 for Devonport and becoming windy too in the north. Georgetown 15 degrees. Burnie tomorrow 15 and rain. Wind and rain for Strawn and Wynyard 15 as well. St Helens tomorrow, rain later 17, showers for Swansea, 16 the top for Port Arthur. On Saturday, a shower again over the west and King Island, fine and partly cloudy for the rest of Tasmania. Similar weather forecast for Sunday, temperatures still on the cool side. And on Monday, mostly sunny for the state, apart from, once again, the west and possibly King Island. Sunny and cool in Perth tomorrow, showers for Adelaide, rain in store for Melbourne, but fine and mostly sunny for Sydney and Brisbane. Cloudy in Hobart, it's 15, 12 right now in Launceston and 11 degrees in Devonport. All week, Kim. I've had these stories coming from China with people dressed up as bears. Look, I got a bear suit at home, but only my wife has seen that one.
Oh, I reckon you should keep it that way too. Thank you, Murph. And that is all we have time for tonight. As always, thanks for joining us this evening. Good night, everyone.